Welcome back. Fresh tensions are emerging in the Gulf region once again, with reports of multiple explosions near the Strait of Hormuz in Iran. In fact, the Iranian media has claimed that at least 3 separate blasts were heard in the area close to the Strait of Hormuz, followed by activation of the air defense system. Iranian media website has stated that this happened after IRGC confronted a U.S. oil tanker trying to transit the crucial waterway that is the Strait of Hormuz. And this comes amid the renewed regional tensions and also just hours after the reports of the fresh U.S. military action targeting the Iranian drones and the missile infra there. The situation has once again raised concern and the fear over this sharp escalation in the region between the two countries. Let me get you more perspective and go across to my colleague and consulting editor Srinjoy Chaudhary. Good morning, Srinjoy. There are fresh tensions and this time centered around the south of Iran. Give us more details about the blasts that were reported there.
There's been a blast in the Hormuz area, specifically Bandar Abbas. Now, you would expect that the Americans are behind this. And this is a kind of warning to the Iranians, saying, look here, open the Strait of Hormuz and please hand over the 460 kilos of enriched uranium. Now, the worry is this can escalate, and you use the word escalate, because if the Americans attack the Iranian infrastructure projects, whether it's pipelines, whether it's roads, whether it's bridges, the Iranians could do exactly the same in the Gulf states. And if you're going to hit oil fields, refineries, as the Iranians did twice in those 40 days, 39 days of fighting, and more worryingly, desalination plants, then things can get very, very ugly. So we don't know where this is leading to, what kind of warning this is, but the fear that this could escalate is there. And if it does escalate, it means a fresh round of trouble, a fresh round of destruction in the entire region. And if that happens, things are difficult as they are in terms of oil prices and availability of crude oil and even of grain and all that, things could get uglier.
Absolutely, and this is what we know so far, that this is the second incident in just less than 1 week. 3 blasts that were reported in the south of Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. Stay on with us, Srinjoy. We have another statement coming in from Donald Trump. In fact, he has rejected Iran's latest draft proposal, which included provision linked to the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. He said that U.S. is not satisfied with the current terms, even as he claimed that Iran is keen to strike a deal with him. He also said that U.S. will either seal a deal on its term or, his words, finish the job, while also insisting that U.S. does not depend on the oil flow through the Strait of Hormuz. Bringing my colleague Srinjoy on this once again. Srinjoy, Donald Trump is saying that he's not satisfied with the Iran deal yet. He's also said that Iran very much wants a deal. There's no room for sanction relief for Iran, and saying that we will finish the job if talks fail between the two countries. Give us more details on this.
President Trump, over these 2.5 months, has said different things at different times. Now, even after the ceasefire, sometimes you got a feeling that peace was at hand. And then you've heard people saying that, things are still getting worse. So at this point, he says that, look here, if Iran does not hand over the 460 kilos of enriched uranium and does not open the Strait of Hormuz, there will be big trouble. This is his current statement. Well, currently, we have to say that he has said what he has. Now it's important to see what he does.
Absolutely. Remains to be seen how this, in fact, really pans out. A statement that is coming from Donald Trump, wherein he has rejected the Iran's latest draft proposal, which included the provisions linked to the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. He has said that U.S. is not satisfied with the current terms, even as he claimed that Tehran is going to strike a deal with him. And he also said that U.S. will either seal a deal on its term or, in his words, in fact, he said that he will finish the job. And on that, we have another breaking update coming in as far as this statement that he has given after Donald Trump has said that there will be no sanction relief. Tehran has said that they will not back down from the red lines and insisting on removal of the U.S. sanction against the country. Iran has said that it stands firm on the uranium enrichment, also saying that Hormuz control is non-negotiable. That comes under them as well. So this is what Iran has said. Let me once again go back to Srinjoy on this. Srinjoy, clearly Iran is digging in the heels against what Donald Trump has said. Trump had said that there will be no sanction relief for Iran, and after that Iran has said that they will not be backing down as far as the red lines are concerned. They want sanction relief, and that remains the key friction point between the two countries at this point in time. Give us more details about this.
Iran and America, after those 40 days of fighting, both declared victory. Now, when you declare victory, you set terms. When you set terms, you tell the other side that, look, we won, this is what you have to do. And naturally, both sides had set terms which are unacceptable to each other. As a result, there is no forward movement. Both sides do not agree on virtually anything. So if that is the case, then naturally there's an impasse. Naturally there's a deadlock. And that's where we are at this point. After 40 days of fighting, we have about 50 days of deadlock. Fortunately, so far, much of it has been through, there's been a ceasefire. But as you know, there have been these odd explosions, and they are quite worried.
All right, so that remains the stand of Iran, is what we're learning. Thank you so much, Srinjoy, for getting us all those details. Let me take you through what Iran has said after the statement of Donald Trump. Iran has said, and I quote, Iran will not back down from the red lines, such as right to enrichment and enriched uranium, management of the Strait of Hormuz. They have maintained that it remains under their control, and the lifting of the sanction in the face of Trump's rhetoric. Everyone now knows that Trump, in order to save himself from this deadlock, resorts to the tool of threats. One day and begs for the agreement the next. So Iran are here clearly saying that these are just threats, the pressure tactic of Donald Trump. But as far as the red lines are concerned, the right to enrichment, the enriched uranium, management of the Strait of Hormuz, and lifting of the sanction, those are the red lines that they will not be compromising on. All right, so that is the latest we're learning as far as Iran is concerned. But as we told you, U.S. President Donald Trump has rejected Iran's latest draft proposal as well, which includes provision to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Trump has said that U.S. is not satisfied with the current terms, even as he claimed that Tehran is keen to strike a deal. He said that U.S. will either seal a deal or finish the job himself. He also said that U.S. does not depend on oil flow through the Strait of Hormuz. And on the other hand, we also have Iran digging in the heel against what Donald Trump has said, also going on to say that when it comes to the red lines, they will not be compromising on that. Srinjoy, do tell us more about the situation right now as far as the war in West Asia is concerned, because there is a ceasefire in place which clearly has been violated, because just a while back we heard that there were blasts in the south of Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. Do tell us about that, and also about the back-channel talks and a possible deal that could be struck between the two countries.
We've been hearing about a back-channel talks and a possible deal for quite a while. The Pakistanis have been at it, but so far there's been no forward movement. Sometimes you hear, the peace is at hand and everything is going to happen in the next 2 or 3 days. And President Trump himself has alluded to that. And then suddenly it all breaks down. At the end of the day, if Iran does hand over the 460 kilos of enriched uranium and open the Strait of Hormuz, what does it get in return? That's the main point. And if America says, okay, we will lift the naval blockade, we will also lift the sanctions, we will return all the money that is Iranian money stuck in the banks in the West, all of that, then perhaps there's a solution. But so far things haven't moved in that direction. And as long as things are stuck, there will always be the fear of conflict.
All right, so it remains to be seen how this really pans out in the coming days, but Iran has made it quite clear that they will not compromise on the red line when it also comes related to the Strait of Hormuz as well. Let me now take you straight across to Times Now digital website, timesnownews.com, and take you through the top stories of the day. Today, all eyes will be on Karnataka, on that breakfast meeting that will take place in another 1 hour in Bengaluru. And after that, we're learning that the Chief Minister will be meeting with the Governor as well. Let me take you through the details. You should read this article to find out more about what can be expected in Karnataka today. Siddaramaia's move to meet the Governor and host a cabinet breakfast has intensified speculation of an imminent leadership change in Karnataka. So who will be the Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister, the KPCC Chief as well? Read this article to find out more about what can be expected there in the state of Karnataka. And with this, we're taking a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.